Welcome! It is I, and I am him. The evil conservative, Tim Carpenter here. Letting you know what's going on. It's been a long time, hasn't it, kids? It's been way too long. Remember this sound? That's for you, neocons, and liberals, and progressives, and all those who seek to destroy the country that I love, America. We'll stop that for now. It is I, Tim Carpenter, the evil conservative. Glad to be back in the land of video, if you will. Although, had some video difficulties here lately. Getting things squared away as they were. The camera person is off today. Busy working on other things and had some pretty hectic times, haven't we? Getting things squared away and personal stuff getting squared away and all kinds of good things. But we're back on track and ready to attack, and what better time of the year? It's February. That's right, it's getting ready for give your annual contribution to Uncle Sam time. Oh wait, we do that all the time anyway. If we have a job and we work, he gets to take our money no matter what. Good old bun of a sitch. But anyways, yeah, that's right, tax time where they get to... It's funny how people are like, oh, I get a tax return, oh, I get a tax return. Hey, you know what? The best kind of tax return would be no federal income tax. Do a sales flat tax or something like that. I mean, you know, it's crazy that there's this federal income tax that shouldn't even be going on. It's been going on for over 100 years. And, you know, I don't know about lovely camera person here, but when I was in school, income taxes was just, it's just part of your life. It's the way it was drilled into your brain. They acted like the federal income tax was something that had been around for centuries, since Abraham Lincoln or something like that. When in fact, the federal income tax didn't start until 1912/1913, when good old buddy Woodrow Wilson and his progressives decided to include income taxes for all of us. But you know, that's my whole thing about both sides of the coin, as it were, the donkeys and the elephants. You never hear either one of them, well, except for one, complain about income taxes and that it should be gone. They talk about how it's important, how it has to be there, pardon me, for different reasons. And you know, now the income taxes is just getting even worse, because now good old Uncle Barry in his wisdom, and yes, that's sarcasm, folks, has decided to make the income tax department, or IRS, be in charge of Obamacare. Wow. Just saw today on one of the MSM pages, or actually newscasts, they were crying about how the IRS is still going after conservative groups and not giving them tax exempt status and that kind of thing. You know what? Don't hold your breath, because as Ron Paul said recently, in a very good interview with Jesse Ventura, and I know some of you are out there saying, what? Yeah, that's right. I consider them to be part of the evil conservative group, if you will. He mentioned that the reason that you see the viciousness that's going on in both sides of the parties, both parties, isn't because they're against each other. In fact, you know, when they're off camera, as they say, they're best of friends off camera. So it kind of shows you that side. But anyways, no, the reason they're being so aggressive or tenacious towards each other is because they realize the money is running out. And if they want their thing or plan or whatever to go through, they've got to have the money to do it, and they've got to fight hard to get that money. And that's why they're fighting so viciously against each other. But meanwhile, good old USA Joe Schmo American here, like me and you and everybody else out there, we're still getting screwed. Folks, I've said it before, I'll say it again. If you have an independent party or a libertarian or any kind of other group that you want to go with, start looking into those groups and start backing some of those groups when it comes to elections and things like that. And when it comes to elections or politics, start opening your mind and start listening to what these people are truly saying, because if you do, you will see there's not much difference between the donkeys or the elephants. They're both very disturbing to a certain extent. But, oh, bear with me just a moment. Had to take myself off camera there for a little cough. Don't have the abilities to edit like I'd like to, but that's okay. We're live, we're real, it's all good. But as I was mentioning earlier about the government and that kind of thing, the donkeys and the elephants and their own agendas, I go on here and I look at some of the things that go on, and you know, there's really not much difference between the Republicans and the Democrats, and I didn't really plan on getting on this whole spiel, but the difference is what they spend the money on. The Democrats are going to spend on social issues, that kind of thing, more leaning towards that, which I have no problem with helping someone that needs help, but don't help them not help themselves. You know what I mean? And in other words, what I'm saying is, if I'm going to help you, I'm going to help you not only get back on your feet, but teach you how to stand on your own 2 feet and take care of yourself. That's not what we're doing now with our government. We're just throwing money at people and keeping them happy so we can keep ourselves, well, in their case, so they can keep themselves elected. And that, quite honestly, for lack of a better term, is bullshit. I call bullshit. But anyways, the Republicans, another more I call bullshit. They are the corporate suck-ups, if you will, kiss asses. You know, Halliburton, these big military companies, they want these wars to keep going on. Well, the Republicans are going to make sure that that continues if they can. And quite honestly, so will the Democrats if they get a chance as well. I personally have been watching some other things, not the MSM or LSM, as I like to call them, mainstream media. And by that, I don't just mean MSNBC. I mean Fox as well, because they can be just as lame and just as one-sided as the others. You know, the talk radio people, I like Alex Jones, but the rest of them, I was a big Glenn Beck fan for a long time and never could stand Rush Limbaugh. He just gets on my nerves, and I'm conservative. That tells you something right there. But I do like Glenn Beck to a certain extent. He and I have grown apart as of times have gone on. But the one I really like is the one that's going to be coming on soon. I've been talking about doing this with my buddy Stevie G. Hello, Stevie. Hope you're doing good out there, man. That's right. We're talking about bringing in our own little mix, if you will. Our own talk, our own music, kind of a mixture of both. And that way, instead of doing this halfway through a telephone conversation or listening to a program, you're not nodding off. You're wondering, oh my God, what are they going to do next? That's what we want you to think. That's what we want you to wonder about, and that's why we're going to do this in a painstakingly slow kind of way, but we're going to make sure that it's done right, and that's the important thing. But and it's done so that people can listen to it without wondering why they ever went online to that website. We want you to come back for more, as they say. And we'll have some of our own little individual ideas, if you know what I mean. And some of you are probably looking at me and going, uh-oh, you're going to let him do stuff with that twisted mind? Yeah, I know, it's scary, isn't it? But anyways, we're going to have fun with it. That's the main thing. And we're also going to keep it real, because it's very important, I feel like, in this time to keep people educated and enlightened on what's going on, because, quite frankly, it's hard to keep enlightened and educated with the demanding schedule that people have nowadays, trying to take care of their families and everything else. We need people out there that are going to talk to each other, they're going to enlighten each other, and pass the word along to each other. So I feel like that's what I've been called to do, and that's what I'm going to do. Yes, I had the itch to run for politics, and I still do to a certain extent, but not as much. I feel like this is my way of contributing while I'm debating on doing something like that. And it's my way of giving back to the people and also keeping you informed. Do I know everything? No. Am I perfect? Heck no. But I am someone that's working hard at trying to be active and helping other people stay active, or at least knowledgeable of what's going on. I would also recommend, and I know a lot of people aren't big fans of him, I happen to be, is Jesse the Body Ventura, or Jesse the Governor Ventura, or Jesse the Mayor Ventura. He has a show called Off the Grid. You can see it on YouTube, or you can go to Aura, that's ORA .TV, Aura, ORA .TV. It has some pretty interesting shows on there. And one of the things he talked about, which I, as time has gone on, am starting to agree more and more with, is the legalization of marijuana. And I know some of you that know me are dropping your jaw and going, what? But I do believe the war on drugs is a waste of money. I do believe it's become a farce, if you will. It's become an excuse to build up our military-industrial complex, not just our army, our military, but also our police as well. And it's gotten out of hand. And I use as a historical reference Prohibition. Back in the 1920s and 30s, alcohol was illegal in America. It became a joke. You had the mob, the mafia. They all became strong and powerful, got lots of money because of this. And that's what we're facing today. All these drug lords. I mean, how many people in Mexico could we save just by ending the war on drugs? One of the interesting concepts that Jesse Ventura brought up on one of his shows. And also an interesting concept, and I'm sure when politicians see this, it'll put a light bulb going off on their head. Imagine if you could tax the income that drugs bring in. Colorado alone, in the first day, I think it was the first day, they showed a place that was like a, for lack of a better term, I guess a mom and pop store that sold pot. And within a day, they were out of their entire stock. They were totally sold out and having to restock. So with those kind of demands, saying is, you would see a lot of income, and in so doing, you would see a lot of, if there's a lot of income, there's going to be a lot of taxes. That's right. So the government would be able to fund itself, and let's see, if you did it like that, you might be able to say bye-bye federal income taxes. Wouldn't that be a nice thing, camera person?
Yeah.
I know, I thought so too. But anyways, we've been on here for a while now, and I wanted to let everybody know that we are still alive and kicking, and we're planning on taking things up to another level. You will still see this beautiful face every now and then on the internet, but you'll also be able to hear me on the internet as well. Now, we are still in the beginning processes of doing this, so as far as I know, things are going to continue to be like they are right now, with the Evil Conservative popping up every now and then just to keep you informed. But definitely, those who are my friends on Facebook, keep your eyes open and your ears open as well. And don't be afraid to drop me a line on Facebook, good, bad, yay or nay. Don't hesitate to let me have it. But also, encourage yourself. You know what? Enlighten yourself. Look at these topics online, on YouTube, on Facebook, on these different references on Google, on other websites, places that you could recommend. Do your own homework. I can tell you till the cows come home, and I can tell you till I'm blue in the face, and I probably will, because that's just the way I am. But until then, look it up for yourself and free your own mind. Don't be a slave to the mainstream media, or the lamestream media, as I like to call them. Don't let Chris Matthews or Rush Limbaugh, depending on what side of the coin you're on, tell you how to think. Whenever someone tells you how to think, tell them to kiss your ass. Look it up for yourself, because I tell you what, when you look it up and you see what it's all about, it makes you see just how much bullcrap is being spread on the national news media shows by everybody. Everybody got up on how great Bill O'Reilly was because he ripped on Obama. Well, duh. Anybody with half a brain would have been able to rip on Obama with his record. I mean, give me a break. The guy's a crook. That's the other thing I was going to get into today. Mr. Obama. You've started your Affordable Care Act, and now we're all paying for people who don't want to work. That's your whole goal. Socialism 101, as I like to call it, is in effect. And I have friends on here that still actually agree with Obama and think it's a good idea. And that's your opinion. You're entitled to it. More power to you. Don't try to get me to go with you, because it ain't happening, Captain. I'm telling you that right now. But as far as Obama himself, when you get in front of people and say that you're going to use your pen and you're going to use your executive privilege over Congress, you've overstepped your bounds, and you're continuing to overstep your bounds. And I'm calling on the Congress and Senate to finally, well, I'll quote the Joker from the from the Batman movie where the Heath Ledger. I'm calling on Congress and Senate to grow some balls, and to have some balls, and to put Mr. Obama on what we like to call impeachment, because it's time for his ass to go if he's going to try to start making executive orders with his own pen whenever the hell he feels like it, because that is bullshit. I call bullshit again. It's a colorful evil conservative show today, but yeah, that's bullcrap, and it ain't gonna continue. And as far as taxes and that kind of thing, and paying taxes, well, I'm not a big fan of that. I don't think too many people are. I know that I'm not a big fan of people that take advantage of us. I will say this, as far as the the people that are looking that say they're going to make a change and are going to put a stop to this, well, most of you, when I think of that and your idea, yeah, that pretty much sums it up right there. It makes me laugh until I can't laugh so hard I cry, because it's terrible. But anyways, oops, what's happening here? We're hearing more music. It's the wrong song, Tim. What are you doing? You hit the wrong button. I hit the wrong button. I apologize, folks. But it happens sometimes. I wanted to throw a little music in here. And I know you're thinking, wait a minute, the evil conservative's going to throw music in here? Along with my... here it is. In honor of the military-industrial complex and the people who want to continue to have wars, and, you know, it's funny when you think about wars, and I'll talk along with music. For those of you who aren't familiar, I'll do my DJ thing now here at Evil Conservative Radio. It's Black Sabbath with War Pigs on Evil Conservative Radio. But anyways, and this is Black Sabbath with War Pigs. You think about the way they have done things. And when I say the military-industrial complex, folks, this isn't just old crazy Tim Carpenter telling you about it. I challenge you to go online to YouTube and look up military-industrial complex, and you'll see a message from a person who's a lot, well, he's passed away, but was a lot smarter than I ever was, I consider him to be. His name was Dwight David Eisenhower. He was a president of the United States of America. And he warned about these kind of people. And I guarantee you there ain't no senator's son's bodies burning. Or any congressman's boys' bodies burning. And oh, they like to spread their hatred, don't they? We are a global force for freedom now, folks. Sounds more like a bunch of oppressors trying to take over everything to me, but that's just me. But yeah, this is Ozzy. This is Black Sabbath. It's Paranoid. From the album Paranoid. War Pigs. One of my favorites. But, you know, we got so much to work on, folks. And I'm gonna try and slow this down now. Yeah, that's a funny thing about the Republicans this last year. All of the people that ran for the presidential spot, only one was a veteran. That's right. And your judgment day is coming, neocons, liberals, and everyone else who wants to endorse war for their Halliburtons or Blackwells or whatever company wants them to. Your day is coming. You've been feeding at the trough for a long time. Well, you know what happens to a pig when he gets too big and fat? It comes time to butcher him so they can have some bacon. And some of you politicians have been sitting at the trough for way too long. It's time for us to take the knife, do the deed, and send you home. Because you are done. We are sick of it. We're tired of it. And I'll tell you something else we're sick of too. And I say this pretty much every show now. A memo to the NSA if you're watching, kiss my ass. Come and get me if you have the guts. Barack Obama, kiss my ass. Come and get me if you have the guts. Oh, I'm sure if you hear about a drone strike in near specific mountains in the eastern panhandle region, you'll know where they try to set their drones off at. Yes, the drones are all around us. In fact, they're even being used by local polices now. Isn't that great? Yes, it's wonderful.
Now in darkness, world stops turning. Ashes where the
Okay, we're gonna skip past this part. Thanks, Ozzy. Thank you, Black Sabbath. War Pigs. Awesome. Helping the evil conservative mix it up a little bit. A little test, if you will, to see how we can do things. And I want your feedback, folks. I want your feedback. I want to hear what you have to say. Tell me what you think about the military-industrial complex. Tell me what you think about war. I don't think there's anybody that likes war. At least no smart person. I've never been in the military. I have been shot at before. I have been robbed at gunpoint and knife point. So I do know a little bit about being attacked by a gun. It's not a beautiful thing. It's not a fun thing. It's scary as hell. And those of you out there who have served our country, I do not in any way mean to disrespect you or show any disrespect towards you. I commend you for your service. You got paid for it as well, so congratulations. And we thank you for doing what you had to do. And hopefully from that you're able to make a good, healthy life and career from there. It's not the soldiers, it's not the Marines, it's not the Navy, it's the people in charge that we have the problem with. The people that are sending out the marching orders are who we have the problem with. The people who are sending us to the oil fields, who are sending us across the world, who are sending us to where there's every little sense of a possible problem. Meanwhile, in our own backyard, we have no way of defending our borders. We have people crossing the border at will. We have so many issues, one of which is that we're going broke, and yet what do? We just keep making more money. Keep making more money and keep making more money to try and make our problems go away. Well, folks, it's the Evil Conservative. I think I've vented long enough for one session. I'm getting the high sign now that we're getting close to wrapping up, or should be at least. I'm sure my camera views look a little bit weirder this week because our lovely camera person was unable to participate, but that's okay. You know, things happen. We got to get stuff under control, and we're doing so. And having, well, I won't say having fun. That's probably not the best way to put it. But there is a light at the end of the tunnel, and we have figured out that it is not an oncoming train. So that's a good thing. But I want to send this shout out, if you will. It's a question. It's It's called For Whom the Bell Tolls. That was the beeper, that wasn't the bell. There's the bell right there. Oh, we gotta go back. Yeah, there we go. Listen to it real good. Neocons, progressives, liberals, mainstream media, military-industrial complex, National Security Administration, CIA, FBI, and whoever else wants to try and get into my business. To quote the great David Allan Coe, I've seen the Grand Ole Opry, and if that ain't country, you can kiss my ass. Well, I'm an American. I stand up for America and America's rights and America's civil liberties. And that means you don't get to keep getting into our business. So, in closing, thank you all for viewing, and keep your ears near your computer and your eyes on the prize, and make sure that you, if you have the chance, get out there and do your own video and let them know, NSA, we ain't taking your crap anymore. You can come and try and get us, but you can't take all of us if we all stand up against you. Tim Carpenter, the evil conservative. Out.